Jai Hind everyone, welcome again to the Patriotic IAS. Let's start our session on the IAS PCS Wala Delhi current affairs, and in this session we will study the major areas of the news and news article and the editorial that is relevant for the UPSC. We will start with the major area that we will going to cover. So we will start with these are the area. So the first thing that we will take is with respect to the white paper that has been given by the government. Under that it has mentioned that what are the drawback before they came to the economy, means what was the mistakes of the UPA government previous previous UPA government under the Manmohan Singh. So this is all about, so it will be under the GS paper 3. So this is important for prelims as well as mains. Not that much, but yes, you should have something to criticize and something to give your supporting point. Okay. Second thing is with respect to this movement regime of the Myanmar, means free movement regime that is going to be suspended. Now they are going to end with this system. So we will know about this. So it is important for the GS paper 3 because it is part of internal security as well as the India-Myanmar relationship. So GS paper 2, international relation. Then we will go with there is the blast in the firecracker factory. So we will study this with respect to the GS paper 3, disaster management, as well as the GS paper 4, ethics, because there has been the lack of the administration and empathy towards these people. They are the tribal people, weak people. So you should understand, you will also serve the as the administrator, you should be careful of all these things. Then we will say that the we will study this Canadian accusation that Indian interference into its election. So it is impacting in a negative way the Indian-Canada relation. So we will study GS paper 2. India Kaladan project, that is between the Myanmar and India, again GS paper 2. Here we will study how there is the project that is going to connect the Kolkata port to the Sitwe port into the Myanmar, and by that we are going to reach our northeastern states such as the Mizoram. So there is the civil war, and that's why this is getting disrupted. There is a small statement from the Madras High Court that yes, secularism, you have to value the secularism in India, and yes, please don't try to create the fuss on the issues such as the ban on the cracker on the time of the as anti-Hindu. Okay, so please remember that this will be the part of core of the GS paper 2, secularism. Then we will have some observation from our member of parliament itself. The report that says that there has been the manipulation in the OBC candidate appointment. Many OBC candidate that is getting selected from the normal category to show that their seats has been filled, they have been clubbed with those reserve category. Okay. Further, there is some of the fact we will know that women's representation in these different commissions, and we have seen that maximum it is the 9% that is in the information commission, otherwise the average has been the 5%. Then we will study about the use of the CRISPR technology, how the government has allowed into the few of the area, what are the ethical concerns that it could create. After that we will study this cancer forest disease. This is also important with respect to the prelims, because you should know that where it originated, what are the causes of that. Then on this page, editorial page, we will study about this uniform code that has been brought up by this Uttarakhand government. So we will study that what are the issues that we can face with respect to this. So this will be part of this our GS paper 2 and mains perspective. After that we will study about this research and development spending that has been mentioned into the interim budget, how it is going to impact. Okay. This as in the interim budget we saw that there is the promise for the high level committee to see the challenges and opportunity due to the population increased growth. So we will study it with respect to the mains perspective, GS paper 3. Okay. We will also study this Paytm payment bank, the ban from the RBI and what is the issue. So it is with respect to the governance, GS paper 2, and in the last, okay, this is the regulation with the respect to the rice price. So if time permits, we will cover, otherwise we will cover into the next session. So this is all about for the today's session. Let's start with the first page. This is from the front page. This is with respect to the government came up with this white paper, And this white paper, okay, so this white paper shows the what was the lacuna that was in the last 10 years before this NDA government, and what are the achievement they have done into the this 10 years. So they have brought that to this 47 page of this, and the one thing you should know, with this white paper there has been the Congress that has come up with the black paper. So we will see that black paper as well. First we will see this white paper. So it has said that it was that the previous government that made the UPS policy status and misgovernance, and this made the dynamism and growth a bit into the jeopardized all this growth and stability of the economy. Okay. So it is saying that few of the high growth rate of this UPA government was not due to their policy, it was due to their policy that was before them under the Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So whatever the growth rate was under the UPA, this is not their achievement as per this white paper. And yes, whatever this started after 2014, also that doesn't have to do with this UPA. All this has been, there is no impact of this government of the on the next government, but yes, there was the impact of the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government on the UPA government. Okay. So it is opting for the quick fix, as it has alleged that the UPA government opted for the quick fix like the loan waiver, that whenever there is the crisis situation, they didn't took the long term step, but they tried to solve it with the some of the immediate step that was not that much impactful for the long term. So like the loan waiver created the NPA and the stress on the government finance. So here it has given, and they ignored the Aadhaar and GST reform. Despite this was from, the bill was introduced, but yes, it was the BJP at that point that was opposing these two bills. Okay, so but they have mentioned that it is us that we came up with this two bills or any of the progressive bill. It is talking that they left, UPA left with the Hydra-headed challenge, means it is the Hydra-headed, it is the a type of species if you want to kill, but it will there will be the multiplication of that species. Okay. So there was the mismanagement of the decay. So it is all about that. This was the that 5 year was the fragile 5 year, but fragile 5 under UPA, India reached into the fragile 5. Now under the this NDA government, we have reached into the top 5 economy. So yes. So this is here given with respect to the foreign reserve. Under them, it was we have only 6 months of in advance, but under this government we have the 10.6 month of the advance for the reserve that is that can be in the advance. Okay, means we have that much reserve that we can import for the next 10 months under this UPA government. It was just for the next 6 months. Okay, in the advance. Okay. It is talking about the insolvency and bankruptcy code beside the liberalization of foreign direct investment. These are the steps taken by this government. Okay. So it has alleged that UPA watch that had shaken people's confidence. Okay. So 15 high profile scams that has mentioned, despite it has ignored the different allegation under its government, like the Augusta Westland helicopter scam and Pilatus basic terrain aircraft. So this is all about with this. Means totally there is the acquisition of the previous government, and there is the positive development under its government. Okay, so this is all about. Okay, so yes, Congress came up with this black paper, and it has mentioned this as the Anyaya Kal. Okay, so this has mentioned that the issue like the unemployment, inflation, subversion of institution, farmer distress, and alleged injustice against the women and minority, nothing has been this has increased under this government. Okay, so this is all about here. It has mentioned that how the taxes demand from the Modi ji when he was the chief minister of the Gujarat, asking from the UPA government at the center, but now he is not able to. He is telling that this demand from the south is creating the south not divide. So here it is now the southern state, those who are demanding for the greater share of greater share of the tax for the south. Next important news that we will take is with respect to this Myanmar and India, this free movement regime that is about to end. Government is ready to end because it will impact the internal security of India, as well as it has to do with the India Myanmar relationship, international relations. So what is this? The basic about this is that as per this free regiment, this was started in at the 1968 itself. Here it has given when it is started. Initially it was for the 40 kilometer. Now it is reduced to the 16 kilometer. So what is the basic about that? The basics about that is any member of the hill tribe who is citizen of either India and Myanmar and who reside within the 16 kilometer of the border on the either side can cross the border with the border pass if they have the border pass. Border pass is given by this state government, and this is managed by the state government. Okay, so usually valid for this border pass is valid for the 1 year, and they can stay up to the 2 weeks per visit. Okay, if they go this side at inside, so from that side they are entering into the Indian side. From the Indian side to the Myanmar side, if they are crossing border, so they can stay for the 2 weeks. But the issue is that there is no standard document or the border pass recognized by the both countries. And Assam Rifle that manage the border, but the thing is that this pass is managed by the state government officials. So there is always the confusion with respect to that. Besides that, it has given that this fencing was started during the UPA government itself, and it was decided that 10 kilometer in the More area, that is in the Manipur where the tussle is going on, that will be fenced. And under the UPA government itself, it was fenced for the 4 kilometer. But after 2013-14 to the now, it has only further added the 3 kilometer more. Okay, so near about 6.81 kilometer fencing has been completed till now. So this is a total fencing area, and total border area is border distance is 1643 kilometer, and now demarcation on the paper has done where the we have reduced any of the conflict on the 1472 kilometer. So this is all about with respect to this. You should know and that the largest border India shared with the Bangladesh, the largest border line that India shared with the Bangladesh, it is not the China. China is on the second. Okay, so please remember this international icon award that has been given to the Uthaya Mullidharan. Please remember as per relevant for the prelims. Next important news that we will take is this. There is the blast in the firecracker factory, and we see that we can read it with respect to disaster management, because this is the one of the cause of the man-made disaster, and ethics as well. The way the administration of that area govern and administer this factories, if it has been done in the prior basis, this death and this injury would have not caused, because you will be also the administrator of the some of the district where such thing happens. Your responsibility is to carefully go, and you should be careful with respect to the rules regulations, so that you can prevent such type of crisis, such type of the a very bad situation where people suffer so much. Look, the people how there is the 6 people have been killed, 12 killed, and yes, near about 200 injured. So this is the there, and there they are threatening their life with just for the 300 rupees on the daily wage basis. Oh, even if you will do with count on the monthly basis, it will be just 9,000 if they are going on a every day. If they will take four week off and two other holiday, two other leave, if they are suffering something, it will be near about 6,000. So this is the condition. Okay. And mostly they are from the tribal area of the, like here it has been mentioned that Betul and yes, Betul and Khargon. Okay, so please remember all this. Harda, it is in the Madhya Pradesh, so you should locate this area into the map as well. So this is the Harda. Here I think it is visible. This is the Harda, and this is the Indira Sagar reservoir. Please remember this. It is on the Narmada river. So this is the Narmada river. Okay. If you enlarge Narmada river, this is the Indira Sagar reservoir. Next important news that we will take. This is the charm dance, and it is associated with the Tibetan New Year that is known as the Loshar. So please remember charm dance and this Loshar. Okay. And this is from the Tase Lunpo Monastery in the Bilakupe near Mysore. So please remember this. Next important news, today we have lot of news. There is going on the tussle between the already Canada or India, and you should think that Canada has accused India to the interfering in its internal elections. So please remember this. Next important news with respect to the India Myanmar, that we are making the Kaladan project, and it is connecting the Kolkata port to the Sitwe port into the Myanmar. Oh, so where is the Sitwe port? Okay, and it is in the Paletwa, and this has now came under the control of the rebel that is known as the Arakan army. So there is the internal fight is going on in this area. This is Sitwe port. So let me show it into the map. It will make it more clear. Okay, so this is the project. We want to connect this Kolkata to the Sitwe, and here by the waterway we want to reach here, and after Paletwa we want to reach this Mizoram by the land route. So we want to connect Mizoram with the this mainland part of the India. Otherwise it has been the separated by this Bangladesh, and a large road this route needed to take. Otherwise this will be the easy way for the transportation. Okay, you should also know this Rakhine state. Here this Rohingya issue is going on. Here the internal civil war is going on. Chin province of the Myanmar, and it's shared with the border with the our Mizoram. Sagaing, this is sharing with the Nagaland and Manipur, and Kachin province sharing with the Arunachal Pradesh. So please remember all this thing. It is relevant for the UPSC prelims. Next important thing, and that is relevant for the Madras High Court observation with respect to the a plea from the BJP chief that this ban on the crackers is a type of this you are interfering with the religion, anti-Hindus. High Court of the Madras has criticized that, and yes, it says that please don't mix this religious become a jingoism. It can prove fertile for the secular fabric of the India. So please don't bring these things into the religious term. Okay. Next important news that is relevant for it is this. You should remember that the women had only 50% of the information commission, and you should see this is the data given here. One of the particular data you should remember that in the right to information that was it was framed in 2005, merely 9% of all this commissioner 9%, only out of 9 out of 100, 9 women have been the part of this commissioner. So please remember. Here there is one more observation with respect to the OBC reservation. We have seen that there has been manipulation with the this filling the seats of the OBC, because wherever there is lack of these numbers, they have not able to fill the whole seats in the different area. They have shown that those candidates from the OBC that has been passed with the normal category, they were brought to this category to show that yes, 27% of seat has been filled. So this is all about. Next important news that is relevant for us is from the GS paper 3, this CRISPR technology. You should know that it is the gene editing technology where we cut the gene, and this infected gene is replaced by the healthy gene. So it's become, whenever there is the genetic disease such as the this yes, anemia, sickle cell anemia, or the thalassemia, in that case we can now treat those children at a very early stage. So this is very important, but the thing is that there could be the chances of misuse and the ethical issue, because first thing is that we don't know its impact on the long term. So that's why we are not giving this, allowing this, but now the government has allowed this use of CRISPR technology for the sickle cell anemia and the beta thalassemia. Please remember this. Okay. So the thing is that here it is the countering that this sickle cell anemia is mostly in the tribal population, and you are not going to provide the basic primary health care, but you are directly going to provide the tertiary that is inaccessible for these tribal people. So this is the one counterpoint on that. The second thing is that there is the ethical issue that you can even go for the healthy babies if for this editing to give your own improvement. For example, if you want your child to be more looking more in a proper manner, means so there will be the replication of the each of the human being. So there is the chance of the, means you are playing with the way the nature produce the thing. Okay, so this is all about. The second thing you should know, again from the GS paper 3, this is the Kiansud disease. This is known as Kiansud forest disease because it was first found in the forest of Shimoga district of the Karnataka, and that's why its name is the Kiansud forest disease. Okay. The second thing you should know that this disease is due to the bite of the tick. So whenever there is the infected tick, and if that will bite, it will spread first to the these monkey. So this is known as the start with the monkey fever, and yes, it is prevalent in the monkeys. And whenever the human being go and get contact with these monkeys and other such animals, we get contracted. So this is the process through that this spread. And yes, the symptom of this is it will start with the fever and redness of the eyes and severe headache. So these are all the things we have seen. Such cases is increasing in the Karnataka. That's why government has taken consideration of all these things. Next important news that we will take with respect to this is the Uniform Civil Code that has been pronunciated and passed. This has become the act in the Uttarakhand. Okay. So this article mentioned that yes, this is very good step, this is progressive step because it's talk about the equality between the men and women. But there are the some of the issue where it is causing the threat to the liberty, and the time of this bill, as the election is going to be held after 2-3 months in the April. So there is the chance that it will create the polarity, the intention of this bill. Already this is very much a sincere and very sensitive matter. So yes, this is talking about that. It is very good that there has the progressive, and yes, this is reasonable allowance for the diverse culture and social practice among the different social group, and may not be ideal situation as per now. But yes, here it has mentioned that Bijare person in the UCC aiming the formalized live-in relationship. This is the issue. Live-in relationship where you need to register before going into this relationship. This create the entering the state into the private life of the people, and this is not good. Okay. Already we know the what type of the society we have. We have so much biasness about the with respect to this individualistic relationship. Wherever there is the violence in the case of the caste marriage or the inter religion marriage. In such a case, it will create the social hostility, and yes, it will be the deprivation of the liberty. Means what I want to do, I should divide do two individual, if they have the cross the age limit, they should decide about their life. So this is all about. Okay, so positive features such as conferring the legitimacy to the children. It is talking about the positive aspect. Yes, it is giving the legitimacy of the those children taking birth out of this living relationship. Even it's provide that there will be the succession to the those childrens, and about what will be their rights will be same as that of the legitimate children. And beside that, it is also talking about giving protection to the women under this act and this living relationship. The thing is the registration certificate. Okay, here it has mentioned that even though this during the discussion in the constituent assembly, whether this will be the undermine the minority rights or the promote equal status for the women in the all religion. So Ambedkar was of the view that it's if it is enacted, it should be the voluntary in the initial stage. Okay, and even the previous law recently, the uh, under this NDA government itself, that law commission has given that this UCC is neither desirable nor necessary in the present condition. Okay. So here each body of the personal law be reformed to eliminate the discrimination regressive practice. So this law commission suggested that instead of giving the uniform law for the everyone, each of the personal law should be reformed, and more or less it will become the similar, and gradually you can merge, but it should be the evolutionary process, not suddenly you are going to give one law and this going to make uniform to the everyone. Here it has mentioned that yes, it is very good that this practice such as the idat, talaq, nikah, halal, all that has been made the this has been criminalized. We have get rid of all this thing. So it is the progressive, and further it is the individual furthering individualistic rights and women's right. But in the last, again, it is talking about the unfortunate fallout of all this is the polarizing discourse taking shape in the run-up of the general election. And this concept of the justice should not be lost into the search of uniformity and yes, consequence equality. So we have learned that equality, liberty, fraternity, all this thing has to be balanced with each other. One cannot be sacrificed on the others. Okay. So you should know this UCC. This is the part of our constitution as well. Under DPSP, Article 44. This we have instructed all the states whenever they are going to make a policy. This policy should be as per the. It should be the uniform across the personal law, and yes, you should implement this uniform civil code. So this has been already the part. Next important news, it is not that much relevant. It is from the US that how the Trump or the trial cases is going on from the state to state. So it has mentioned that in this in the conspiracy to the overturn the result of 2020 presidential election that has been held under against this President Donald Trump by the which Columbia Circuit Court. Okay, so you should know if it is going to, even he is going to appeal, it will take the time, and maybe there could be the situation when he become the president and he will have the power to yes declare himself self pardon, as well as he can dismiss all this punishment against him. So here it has mentioned that yes, still there is the chances the time will be taken if it is appealed to the Supreme Court. Maybe Supreme Court will not ready to take, as it is very sensitive issue. Besides that, it might take at least month to make the decision. So this is all about. Next important news that we will take is from this editorial, and it is that comes from this committee that has been promised by finance minister, that the government will constitute a high power committee and it will see the challenge and opportunity associated with the population growth. So under that, this is a very good step, because government would have the data, they will have the research, they will have the study, all this thing, and after that there will be the analysis, and there will be the if there is the further policy making that is more effective. So here it is mentioning that there will be the formulation of the policy and strategy to manage population growth. Okay. It is also talking about that there is need for a broader collaboration, and collaboration with whom? No, NGOs, okay, civil societies group, academia means the universities, professor, and also with the private sector. Okay, so because all have the stake holding on this population growth, because the people, the student who have to be participate in the education academia, the people have to participate in the employment and yes, factories and the companies, so private sector. So this will foster this partnership and enable collective actions to carry out to population related policy and the program. Okay. Beside that, it is also asking that there should be the public awareness and education campaign as well. And yes, accurate information and resources that will empower the individual. Beside that, there is need to promote this responsible family planning, so that we can control if there is any deviation from the despite there has been the reduction in the total fertility rate, still in the some of the areas, some of the region, the population growth is high. And beside that, there is some community who have the very high level of the this growth, so we need to make them aware, educate them. Okay, so all this thing has been mentioned here. And this population committee should also facilitate international collaboration, so that if there is the any expertise at the international domain, we should get some of the ideas, so that we can include in our policy making. Okay. Recently, we have seen that decrease in the dependency ratio, because we have seen that the number of children that is taking birth is reducing, and those who are going in the working is more and more. Working is that could be the between this 15 years to the 59 years. Population is sometimes is taking between the 15 to the 64 as well. Okay. So the projection by the United Nations, this India's population is expected to be 1.46 billion by the 2030. And yes, there will be the composition of 70% of this population with respect to the world population, total population chunk. Okay, so here it has mentioned that total fertility rate, how it is decreasing now, it is expected to be 1.73 by the 2031 to 35. So from 2.5 into the 2009 and 11, this decrease is going to be even less than the this replacement rate. Replacement rate is 2.1. Please remember that. Okay, so all this result into the demographic transition. Okay, and this demographic transition needs some of the focus area. And what will be the focus area? We need to provide this opportunity for this economic growth per capita, and also we need to invest in the health, education, and in skill. So only then this demographic dividend could be more productive, more useful for the country. Otherwise, this will become the, instead of boon, this will become the bane. So initiative to create new job, integrate informal sector with the formal sector. This should be the other area we need to focus. And also we need to focus, empower the female level force to increase their participation rate. Okay, and we have to work on the area of the gender disparities, improve the access to education and healthcare, promote family planning. So all this thing we need to focus. We have seen that here it has mentioned that what is the scenario in the area of the health and education. In the health, we see that still our expenditure is 1%, very low as compared to the developed nation, where it is 5 to 6%. Here we need to also focus to the improve the child and maternal health care and higher life expectancy. That already we have seen that there has been the improvement in this area. And beside that, the nutritional deprivation, where we need to go beyond the food security. Nutritional security is important to provide. Otherwise, there will be the imbalanced growth. Okay. Ensure access to the essential commodities nutrition program targeting the vulnerable population and intervention to improve the water availability and sanitation. This is the other area where this data can help us. Recently, as per the data that we got from the UNICEF, 47% of the Indian youth lacks the necessary education and skill for the employment. Even we get such a statement from the different industrial groups. Recently, we saw that Infosys chairman, the also had made comment that half of those coming out of the graduate are not employable. We need to give a separate training. So there is a gap between the what the academia, what this college and university is teaching, and what are the need for this industry. So we need to fill this gap. Industrial requirement, the education should be as per this. Beside that, whenever this policy is going to, this committee is going to there, it should also work on the area of the data collection methodology, technological adoption, capacity building, and collaboration with the stakeholder. Here it is suggestion for this committee itself. Okay. What should be the focus area for this committee? This committee should focus on upgrading the data collection methods and adopting the digital technology, so that they can speed up this awareness and this is use of this, make the availability of this data for the other stakeholder as well. Okay. And beside that, if you are providing this, there is need for the data security and privacy as well. You are collecting the personal data of the people under this committee, this census. So you need to be sure that it is not being misused, or it is not being hacked, or attacked by the other group who could misuse this. Okay. What we also need, we need to independent audit, data validation exercise, and peer review process. This will help in the identify and rectify the data errors and inconsistency. Yes, there could be the cases that there are the many of the data that is not matching with the family or the people from they are taking. So there is need for this peer-to-peer review, as well as there is need for the rectification if any such thing is found. Besides that, it is suggesting for the open data initiative. This will help in the resource management. If you are going to this open data this initiative, so other person can be contribute with their providing the data, so it will reduce the number of the people who are you are going to involve in this. And the transparency in the data sharing, this should be it shouldn't be under the clutch of the government. Yes. So beside that, it is telling that at the international level, where we can make the collaboration, it could be the international organizations such as United Nations Population Division, World Bank, and academic institution can also provide us with the lot of methodology and technological support. So in the conclusion, it is mentioning that by adopting holistic approach for the population management, prioritizing investment in the health, education, employment, and statistical system, and also promoting the gender equality and social inclusion, this will be help in the demographic use of this demographic dividends, as well as to achieve the inclusive and the sustainable development. That is the need. Otherwise, what will you do with this data if it is going to be used by the only elite section? So here it is mentioning the inclusive and sustainable development. So you should conclude with all this. This is all about with this high powered committee. So if the question comes in the mains, let's try a question. Please read this question and please try to answer. At least please give the approach, how you will approach. To discuss the significance of establishing a high-powered committee to extensively examine the challenge stemming from the rapid population growth and demographic change. Okay. So how you can start? You can start with the providing the data, like yes, how we are going to. Okay, so you can start with this data, that what is the possibility of our population in the future, and yes, you can bring with the connecting language that this could be the challenge, this could be the opportunity. After that, you can bring the what are the issue you are facing in a different area. Here are the challenges you can mention. Okay, and beside that, you have to further bring that the possibility. Okay, so there is the possibility where we can use in this areas. So this will be the part of the body of your answer. Second part of your body of your answer. Okay. Further you can bring that what is the condition, how we need to improve on the health and different area. Okay. Here you can mention that this will come under the issue again. So this you can include. And there is the gap between the academic, their graduates, and the employment quality. And in the last you can conclude with this statement. So this will be your holistic answer. Please connect with the wherever you are going to suggestion that what are the institute we need to collaborate with. You can mention this United Nations Population Division, World Bank, academia institution. So it will be a holistic answer if you will approach by this. Next important news that we are going to take is with respect to again this research and development spending that has been mentioned into the budget. Again, there is this is a very futuristic, and there has lot of potential with this 1 lakh crore that has been promised under the budget, that this will be provided for the 50-year interest free loan. Okay, so here it has mentioned that what could be the role of private sector. Already here the data has been provided that till now it is the 36% coming from the private sector, and yes, 43% from the center. State government very minuscule 6.7%. So it is need from these states, we need to increase the sales in the expenditure and research and development. Here it has mentioned that what is the condition of India and how it has been progress in the recent year. The expenditure in the research and development during the 2008-9, it was near about, yes, 9-10, it was near about 0.8%, 0.82%, but now it is of the 0.64% of the total GDP. So here you can compare, despite the absolute number have increased 1.11 to 1.27, but if you will compare with the reducing the inflation, for example, in the 2019, what was the rate of the milk? It was the 40 rupees, near about 40 rupees. Okay, so 14 or even the 30 rupees, something about the 30 rupees. If you compare with now, it is the 60 rupees, 66 rupees. So it is the 2 times. So if you will go at that particular time with the 60 rupees, you will get the uh, 2 times the milk. And now if you will go with the 30 rupees, you will get the half liter. So if you are going with this amount of for the research and technology, so the output will be the half. This is the main thing here. It has compared with the even the developing nation who have the 1.16, 0.83. This is the South Africa, this is the Brazil. If you will compare with the China, it is the 2.2. If you will compare with the US, it is 3.5 of the GDP. So that's why we need to enhance this investment. Okay, here it has given that in the US there was the whenever Bush's this was adopted, and under that there was the lot of investment was done into this intellectual capacity and the technological growth. Okay, it has given also the development. Mostly they tried to invest in this technology in the 20th century, very initial, and later they saw the result of it, and after that there was a lot of growth in these nations. Okay. So what is the purpose of innovation? Here it has mentioned that the purpose of innovation is for the public. It is not for the only the few of the separate private. So if it is going to be, if this share is going to be increased from the private sector, but there should be the rule and regulation so that this investment should be in an area where there could be that will help in the inclusive development. For example, it is the education, health, and these public goods that will help in the proper development of the society. Otherwise, if you are just using into the personal use, personal growth, so it will make the whole society imbalanced. So here it has mentioned, so we need to proper regulations. There is need for the monitoring from the this policy should be there. There should be the regulatory guard for to the investment, and what should be the aim and objective of all these innovation and investment. So in the same spirit, the public sector research and development expenses need to increase, especially from the state level. That will help, because whenever the state will invest in this research and technology, it will always into the public area. Okay. Besides that, it has mentioned that in the this corpus that has been provided for the 1 lakh crore, it has not mentioned in which area they are going to be spent. So it could be the telecommunication, healthcare, finance, and transport, space flight. So only thing that has mentioned that it will be in the sunrise sector. So sunrise sector could be any one of that. There is the possibility that these have the sunrise sector. Okay. So there is the vagueness, and that's why it is talking about that there should be the definite clarity that in which area and how much percentage it is going to be invested. Here it has mentioned that according to the Indian Bioeconomy Report 2023 prepared by the Biotechnology Industrial Research Assistant, helping startup transition from the bioeconomic resource to the bio manufacturing would require $2 billion. So it will be much more than whatever what we have slotted. Well, it is much more than this to this 1 lakh billion dollar that we have slotted here. It has mentioned yes. So here it has mentioned that as such 1 lakh crore or little over $2 billion. This will be the like the way very little if we are going to dedicate into innovation in the any sunrise domain. So that's why here it has concluded with the government need to define what is expected to achieve. Yes, clear cut achievement should be there, and what are the area, the domain wise, how much they are going to allocate, and the targets, time frame, all should be the definitely defined only when we can achieve the goals. And yes, it should also mention how the government intended to select the beneficiaries and whether the corpus will be replenished or not. Means later if there is the need for the further addition, we can add up or not. So this is all about with respect to the this article. Next important news with respect to this coaching restriction, we know that there now it has been restricted that it should be the only it is going to allow the student registration only after the 16 year. That's why it will reduce the pressure on the students. Second thing is that there is guideline that these coaching have to register with the authority. The authority has still not mentioned that it at which level this authority will that. And the other thing is this guideline also prevent this false and misleading advertisement. So all this thing is good, and yes, this will reduce the pressure and the mental stress. Beside that, it has given that beside this restriction on the coaching, there is need for to counsel and make awareness with the respect to the parents, because it is the parents and family and the social circle that also create the pressure on the student. So this is necessary. Next important thing is with respect to this RBI that has restricted this Paytm payments bank to go for the deposit and also go for the top up. So there has been the consistent non-compliance from this Paytm Payment Bank Limited, and that's why there is the ban. So it will have a negative impact on this fintech company. Fintech companies, those companies that provide the financial services to the people, like the when we have to transfer our money or whenever we have to shopping. So all these things that is provided by this Paytm. Here I will conclude my session. We have covered most of the relevant area. Thank you for joining the session. All the best. Jai Hind.